This is Australia's Northern Territory. It's the third largest state in the country, yet is home to only 1% of Australia's 24 million inhabitants. Halfway across the common tourist route, the Savannah Way, lies the small town of Borroloola. Located 1,000 kilometres southeast of the state capital, Darwin, Borroloola has a population of around 900. Officially declared a town in September 1885, Borroloola relies on mining and tourism as its main sources of income. The old police station was recently turned into a museum, with many historic artefacts reflecting the town's history. The majority of the population in Borroloola are Indigenous Australians. Over the years, the relationship between the two main tribes here, the Yanyuwa and the Mara, has been strained, with violence and rioting a frequent occurrence. For the people of Borroloola, fishing is a regular activity, and King Ash Bay is a well-used destination for keen anglers and tourists alike. But fishing is not the only popular sport in the town, as football has been part of life in Borroloola for many years. The sport was introduced to the community by Glenn Thompson. Originally from Tasmania, Glenn spotted the potential in the locals and established a team here called the Borroloola Cyclones.
I saw a couple of guys kicking a Coke bottle along the side of the road, and I had a couple of old soccer balls there, being a bit of a missionary myself with the game, and we got together in a small team, and from shaky beginnings, it all started there.
Transworld Sport first crossed paths with the Borroloola Cyclones back in 2009, when they competed at the Arafura Games in Darwin. Comprised entirely of Indigenous players, the team has since gone on to win the 2014 Cyclones Cup and enjoyed success at a national level. The Cyclones are currently coached by Mark Wakeling.
The boys were the first Indigenous side to play in the FFA Cup, which is equivalent to the English FA Cup. So all the sides in Australia that are affiliated can take part in that competition. And we went into Darwin and we played Hellenic, I think it was, and should have been 2 up, went down 7-0, but you know, it was an experience. You know, they've got boys in there that are getting paid for playing, and with us, you know, we're limited competition. You know, with the nearest town being 700 kilometres away, every time we want to go there, it's nearly $2,000. So yeah, we're a little bit isolated in that aspect.
The Cyclones, who have a number of local girls who join in the training sessions, face many hurdles before they can even take to the football pitch. Getting the team together for training itself can be tricky, with many of the players working, in education, or in some cases intoxicated, due to the dependency on alcohol in the community. Such is the problem. Local shops restrict what times of day alcohol can be sold and how much can be purchased. The Cyclones have a lack of equipment, no vehicle to travel to tournaments in, and there's little opposition to play against in such a sparsely populated state.
We have been away now for nearly a year. The last time we went to Darwin, it's a 13-hour drive. We don't have the money to stay overnight, you know, anywhere else, so it's a kind of non-stop drive all the way through, which is you know, tough going.
On Transworld Sport's visit to Borroloola, we were impressed by a 15-year-old by the name of Shadeene Evans. She's the most talented female player to have emerged from the setup, and many believe that she has the potential to make a career out of the sport.
I grew up in Borroloola all my life. It means a lot to me, like where I come from and stuff. It's very important to know where I come from. And for my family, it means a lot to me. They've been there ever since I grew up, like was a baby. And like, yeah, the lifestyle here is really good, like going out fishing and hunting and camping with their family. Yeah, it's really good.
The Evans family are part of the Mara tribe, who are based in the north of the town. Dad Sean works as a local sea ranger and is a keen fisherman. He was first made aware of his daughter's talent by the man who brought football to Borroloola.
Well, it started off with Glenn. Glenn sort of said to me, "I keep an eye on Shay. She's really good with soccer." Might have got that from you, you reckon? I don't know. I was pretty good soccer player, but never thought myself that I was, really talented or what. But I suppose we just never got the chance to go and show how good we really play until they looked at Shay sort of thing and found out that she was, really talented.
Shadeene, or Shay as she's known, was initially scouted at the FFA Challenge event in 2015 by Alan Stajic, head coach of the Australian women's national team. It was a life-changing moment for the then 13-year-old. Shay was invited to Sydney to study and train at Westfield Sport High School, one of the leading sports schools in the country. It meant leaving the family home in Borroloola and moving in with a host family in Sydney, although she comes home for regular visits.
Going to Sydney and to develop my football and going to school to get a better education really helps me and my family. Yeah, and going away, meeting new people, travelling with football and stuff. It's really great, good experience, yeah.
It was hard as a family at first, but I sort of told them, think about it, she'll be going away. And I sort of explained to the family, we'll always be here for her, she can come back, visit us. Just let her do her stuff, her soccer stuff and education, which would make probably life easier too if she's got that education and enjoys her game down there, soccer game.
A few other teenagers from the Northern Territory have since followed in Shay's footsteps. Many believe that exposing these Indigenous youngsters to life outside their local community can only have a positive effect on their physical and educational performance.
Going to school and doing schoolwork and stuff, I've improved heaps, from here, because it's a very small school, and going there, improving a lot, learning a lot, and with my football, training very good, the coaches really helps me, and now where I see myself, I improve a lot.
You know, she's only needs that one break. I think if she puts that green and yellow on, how would that be for kids from remote? You know, you can't get much more remote than Borroloola. So for her, then it's that knock-on effect with getting other kids down to Sydney and more in the education, into the sport. But she's got the talent. You know, she's been spotted. She's got the opportunity now. She needs to have that drive to go on and say, yeah, if that's what I want, you know, the opportunity's there for me, and I can really do it for the remote kids.
It's hoped that one day Shadeene Evans will represent her country, playing for the women's national team, who are nicknamed the Matildas. Shay's debut would inspire a generation of children from Borroloola. And for Indigenous communities across the Northern Territory, the sport of football can improve lives for the better.
Football will change things if parents get involved with supporting their kids more, I reckon. If the parents support their kids more, I reckon it can change this place to have more self-respect for each other and the community too, I reckon.
We need more positives because there's enough negatives going on with the drinking side of stuff, and so the more positives we can have and get these young people out of town and see what's going on and broaden their experiences is it's only a benefit to them and the community.